Welcome to Tower Bliss. So this is another pick a card, and the question is, how would you know that they are in love? So you have five options here. You have option one, two, three, four, and five. The timestamps will be in the description box. Okay, to the ones who do not know how to choose a pile, what works out for me, I'm going to let you know. So, the first thing that I usually do when I click on a reading, and the first object that catches my eye, or the first option that catches my eye, is the one for me. And then I later, like, I will check the other piles. Okay, so the first option that usually catches your eye is the one for you. And the second thing, okay, sometimes you might find yourself flickering between two options. Okay, your eyes flickering between two options, then both those piles are for you. And the third way that you can do is close your eyes, and whatever number that pops into your mind, that pile is for you. And the fourth way that you can do is close your eyes and open it all again, and then immediately whatever catches your eye is the one for you. So this is how it works out for me if I'm not able to choose a particular pile. Like, I close my eyes, I pause the video, and then open and then see which one calls out to me. Don't use logic, or do not be like, okay, this looks beautiful, so I'm going to go with this particular pile. It does not work out that way. Okay, whatever is looks a little brighter compared to the other objects, or whatever is little, you might see that it is a little shining or something like that, like it is separate, or it becomes a little different for you than the rest of the piles. The when compared to the rest of the piles, the rest of the piles are like, it looks very dim, and the one that you've chosen looks a little brighter. So that is also one of the ways that I end up choosing a particular pile. So that's it. So let's proceed with your reading. Okay, to the ones who have chosen pile one, your cards are, you have the Eight of Cups, Page of Cups, Three of Wands, Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Poised, and then you have High Power. Okay, so how would you get to know that this particular person is in love with you, or is in love in general? Okay, first thing with the Page of Cups, they are going to love with an intensity that is seen in the movies. Okay, so they're going to give you a complete love story with all the drama, the elements of toxicity, everything added. Okay, extreme love, extreme passion, and all of that stuff. Okay, the Page of Cups is that. So that's drama and all of those things, everything involved. That is how they love. And the second thing that they end up doing is the Page of Cups. They see everything through rose colored glasses. So, the idea of love, the concept of love, or just one person for them forever, that is the concept that they have in their mind. Okay, but they are also going to get other people involved into the drama. They would like, like competition, or the like other people vying for their partner's attention and all of that stuff, like that. They actually have a movie in their mind. Okay, and that's how it is reflected. So they live in this fantasy world, I can tell you, with the Page of Cups. And this particular person will not let you go, because you have the Eight of Cups, then you have the Page of Cups. So there's always like pull and push, and always trying to retain you back no matter what happens. Let's just work this out and all that stuff. But then, because they start to fear the fact that you matter, like they don't get to realize how important you are, and in that way they end up hurting not just you but themselves as well. Okay, because you have the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords. So when either this particular person ends up moving away a little far from the person that they love, or what happens is, it's like there are other love interests that come into the picture. It can be with you, or it can be with the other person. Okay, not like getting romantically involved, it can be that also, but then it's like there's someone else as well. So because of that, they end up hurting themselves, they end up hurting the person they love, and that's how they grow. That's how they learn through this experience, and they become a better individual. Okay, they become someone who has a clear mind. Like, I think they end up hurting themselves more with the Queen of Swords because they have this really a very romanticized idea of love, and they go after it with all might. And that's how I think the ones who have chosen pile one, okay, whoever that you're dealing with, or if you've chosen it for yourself, I feel like you end up losing your first love. It happens. Like, you don't realize their worth unless and until you've like lost them, and that makes you a better person. Okay, that makes you better for your future relationships with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, you like work on yourself, things change, the whole I think you see life through a different viewpoint. It's like almost a transformation. And I think the second thing that you will see with this particular person is they become spiritual. They would start believing in fate. They would become I think they would start believing in everything. I think it usually happens. Like, there are some people who, when they end up falling in love, they become a little spiritual. Okay, you have the poise and the high power. So I would say three things. First thing, they love with a very strong intensity. Their love is very strong. And then the second thing is they see view everything through rose-colored glasses. And the third thing is they become very spiritual. And I think to a point a little negative as well when it comes to love. They start guarding their heart after they've like fallen in love and fallen out of love. Okay, when they're really hurt. So that is how you get to know that this particular person has been in love or is in love. Okay, so that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Okay, this is just a fun big card that I wanted to do. Okay, to the ones who have chosen option 2, your cards are. The first card that you have is the Hangman, Queen of Cups, Five of Pentacles, the Hermit, Soulmates, and Fork in the Road. Okay, so how do you get to know that this particular person is in love? First thing, they have a very controlled behavior around you because you invoke such strong emotions in this particular person with the Queen of Cups. I think they would have never experienced such extreme emotions, okay, for anyone. So because of that, they would maintain a little distance when it comes to you. So if you're walking together also, like you see in this particular card, okay, if you're walking together as well, you would find that they're maintaining a little distance so they don't brush, your hands don't brush, or your shoulders just don't touch. Okay, because I mean, like, it is strong emotions that they would end up feeling. Okay, a bolt of electricity. Okay, so you have the Queen of Cups. I feel like there are some really strong emotions that they have a hard time controlling, and they're going to always be on guard when it comes to you. Like, around you, they're always on guard, they're making sure they have this controlled behavior, a composure. Like, they wouldn't act like, okay, how do I explain this is you would see a different personality. Like, the way that they would interact with everybody else would be different, and when it comes to you, it's going to be like completely different. Very a composed behavior. They know how to talk, and trying to be logical, but then they end up like making mistakes. They might even stammer a bit, okay? Like, they wouldn't talk much. That is the Queen of Cups, I feel. Like, that is how I strongly feel about it. And then you have the Hanged Man and you have the Hermit. What is going to happen is this particular person might end up ghosting you because such strong emotions are involved. It is like they want to break because the moment they are more around you, the emotions tend to get stronger and they have no control over it, and that's the reason they want to break. Like, okay, whatever I'm feeling is just for the time being. They're just convincing themselves because the Hangman and the Hermit, though it is a major arcana, okay, but what do we see with that is it is for a short period of time. Like, a period of time where people are reflecting. So what I feel like, this particular person is going to take time out, and they're going to be like, they've convinced themselves that this is only for a short period of time. Okay, the way that I'm feeling is only for a short period of time, and it has nothing to do with long term. And how would the main thing, so that is one, is like very composed around you. And the second thing that I would tell you is, with the Five of Pentacles, no matter what you go through, you might be going through something really hard, but then you'll always find them with you. Like if you're struggling with something, you'll have this particular person standing beside you, working things out, and they will not give up on you very easily with the Five of Pentacles. Like no matter how things get difficult between the both of you, it's like, even if you have financial crisis or situations turning out to be very different than what you expected, still you would find them along with you. The way that you would be hurting, even this particular person would be hurting. It is like both share a sort of a same fate. Like when they see you sad, even they would become sad. When they see you happy, they would be happy. It would be something like that. But then they will always take time out, so that they wouldn't want their emotions to get as strong as they believe it is. So definitely a soulmate connection, or I can say a very strong connection, and they fail to recognize, I think, because they're trying to put a lid, they're trying to control their emotions. And with the soulmates card, it's like they know that you're important, but to a point that you're very important, they wouldn't know, because you have the fork in the road. Like they feel like they have a choice. They either get to stay or they get to move away, okay, with a fork in the road. Or there might be someone, I don't see someone else involved, but yeah, I would just tell that there's always, they believe that they have a choice, or they believe that there's better things ahead in life. But then it's like, I think they wouldn't realize what they have, because they feel like they have a choice. So that is how this particular person functions, or this is how they will always try to make sure that their emotions don't get stronger for you. So they will ghost you, but then they'll always be there for you when you're going through something hard. And they're always composed around you. They're making sure that they do not make any mistakes around you. So that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you. Okay, the ones who have chosen option 3, your cards are King of Swords, the Fool, sorry, Four of Cups, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Milk and Honey, and Co-Create. So, how would you get to know that this particular person is in love? Okay, they're not going to show you. Okay, they're going to act uninterested. Like, okay, I'm not as interested as you think I am, or they wouldn't even acknowledge it. Like they would just give you these mixed signals, mixed signs. Okay, when this particular person is in love, they'll give you this mixed signs, because you have the Four of Cups and then you have the Page of Swords. So that talks about the fact, like, okay, it's a rejection card where they're not even accepting the love, or they see it but then they don't acknowledge it, they're pretending and all of that stuff. And with the Page of Swords, but then they're keeping an eye on you. Okay, they're like looking at that cup, or they're like, okay, keeping an eye there with the Page of Swords. So first thing, they will never let you know how they feel about you with the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. And they might act a little hot and cold. So at one moment they're going to show like they're really interested in you, and the next moment they're like, okay, I'm not interested, or I don't even know who you are. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm like with the King of Swords and the Page of Swords and with the Four of Cups. Okay, so with the Fool card, but then they want to have like fun, I think like with the fool card, it's like this particular because this particular person does not want to commit, does not want to settle down, they end up finding the love when they least expect it. Okay, so with the fool card, it's more like when you're having fun. I think they end up falling in love when people are having fun, like they are having fun with someone else. Okay, and it's like they like to play this game of being hot and cold, like being interested, not being interested, and that's how you'll get to know that they are in love. I think that's a little, how do I put this? Immature, I say, but then that is how it is. But then they're like always wanting that offer, but they wouldn't make an offer, but they would expect an offer from your side. Okay, and they would want to keep you where they want to keep you. It's like that. And with the Ace of Pentacles, definitely the luck is on your side. But with the Ace of Pentacles, it talks about like it is like the initial, okay, the starting, not the ending. So what I would tell you is, even with the Fool card, it's like the beginning. But I think they wouldn't want to go ahead and make like the commitment. I think comes later on with this particular person. They need a lot of growing up. They have to do growing up. They have to like really grow up. Okay. With the milk and honey and with the co-create, it's like whatever that they've desired, they end up getting. Okay, but then they don't realize that it's two people's work or both people need. And one more thing that I feel like they would feel very inspired. So how would you get to know that they're in love? First thing, they might act very hot and cold towards you, being interested and not interested. And the second thing is they would uh, I mean, like, yeah, the second thing would be like they would feel very inspired. When you end up inspiring this particular person, you intellectually stimulate this particular person where you're being very smart and they appreciate that. That's one of the way that you end up influencing or they end up falling in love. So with the co-create, they when they feel you even might end up becoming a muse to this particular person, like someone or someone who's really inspired them. They might end up creating a lot of things with the crow create, okay, because it talks about inspiration. They would feel inspired by you. So that is the second thing, and they would just want to have fun along the way and not want to settle down. I'm like, that is one of the ways. So, and they would love to play games with you. That's actually sad to the ones who want to like settle down. So they play a lot of games when they fall in love. So this was your reading, and I'm sorry, but then this is your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. This is just a fun pick a card, okay? And it's not like it's a general reading after all. Okay, the ones who've chosen option 4. Your cards are the Sun, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, the Tower, Message in a Bottle, Regeneration, and Blessed. Okay, so how do you get to know that this particular person is in love? So with the Sun card, I think like they would love to be around you. Okay, they would love to have fun and all that. I mean, like because you represent something very positive, I feel like this particular person would, like the moment you enter into their life, it would be like you would change their life in a big way. Like when this particular person ends up falling in love with you, you are going to change their life in a way that is going to be the most positive. Okay, because you have the fun, because you have the Sun card and you have the Tower card. Okay, though you have the Ten of Swords and the Five of Swords, and I tell you why I don't see that as negative. So with the Sun card usually in a reading is the most positive card that you can get. So what I feel like you're going to change their life in a way that they least expected, and you're always going to be that positive, like the most positivity that anybody would have ever brought into someone's life would be you, if this particular person ends up falling in love with you. Okay, so that is the Sun card. And with the Seven of Pentacles, even if they would know that, they would put you on a high pedestal, and when they get to know that they are in love with you, I think like it's going to be instant realization for this particular person that they are in love with you, and they wouldn't back away from working hard to win you over, because the Seven of Pentacles is the card of growth. Okay, so they would lift themselves up, they would work hard just to get your attention, just to become the confident person who can give you everything that you desire. Okay, so these are the people who actually act and show that, it's more than talk, it's like actions are there, like actions are more visible. Okay, they would put themselves in a position where they feel confident, like they can ask your hand in marriage. It's something like that. They're seeing it for long term, and with the Seven of Pentacles, it is long term, it is growth, and it's like reaping the rewards of everything that you desire. So they start sowing the seeds, and then like start working hard to win you over. And then you have the Ten of Swords. It might take time. This might take time, okay? And with the Ten of Swords, this particular person, you'll see a change in them. A complete change, a transformation. So if they have had negative traits in them with the Five of Swords, because the Five of Swords usually isn't a positive card. So if they've had these negative traits in them where they want to win at any cost, or all that negative traits that they would have, they would work on them, because you have the Tower card after that, and the Tower card usually is a card which throws out negativity from our life. Like this is a card where all the negative people or situations, circumstances that aren't serving us are like removed out of our life. So this particular person will change themselves, become a better individual just to win you over, become a better person because they believe that you deserve best. And with the Five of Swords, it's like they will see within themselves what are things that they need to change, and with the Tower card they would work on them because they don't want to end up losing you. Okay, because they always have that fear in their mind that they might end up losing you. They're always going to work towards making sure that, you know they don't become a reason for them to lose you. Okay, and with a message in a bottle, I think at one point of time they might end up messaging you that they actually are in love with you. Okay, you might get some. It might be an indirect message, anything of that sort. Okay, not even direct, like, in the message you might have like I love you and stuffs, but then not directly referring like true, I do that. Like it wouldn't be a straightforward message. You might get that. And with the regeneration card, sorry, like I told you, it's going to be like a new self. This particular person is going to be very much different. Okay, they're going to be, it's like you'll see this particular person transform, change into something better. And with the blessed card, I think they're always going to be, always will feel blessed, or you can say that, you're always going to be something, you're always going to be someone who's very lucky for them, or they would see like you are that angel that came into their life and changed everything, or you're the person that came into their life and made them into the person that they were meant to be. Okay, so you're always going to have a very positive, they're always going to have a very positive outlook on you. So that was your reading, and I think it's going to be quite visible in their personality itself that, you will see them change. That's what I can say. So that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you. The ones who have chosen option 5, your cards are the Chariot, Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, Four of Pentacles, King of Cups, Nine of Cups, to the sea, and thinker. Okay, how would you get to know that this particular person is in love with you? You have the chariot and the three of pentacles. So the chariot is usually someone who is like, authoritative with a lot of command, or let's just say someone who is a dominant personality. Okay, and a little controlling as well. So you have the chariot and you have the nine of cups. And so what I feel like, the moment they end up falling in love, they'll start focusing on themselves, like, like self grooming. They'll start looking better. They're making sure that they're making sure that they're looking good, all of that stuff. Like that is going to be the first thing that you're going to see in this particular person. Like the way they dress up, all that is going to change. And they're going to be a little controlling as well. So with the chariot and with the four of pentacles, I see a person who is a little possessive, will start dictating how you should be and how you shouldn't be, because they actually have a controlling behavior. They have these certain traits which are like, very obvious. Like they would act possessive around you. They'll make sure that you give all their time to them. Like in some way you would see that that possessive trait is going to come out, and they will try to get to know you with the three of pentacles. Like the moment they're interested in you, first they're going to assess the situation, like get to know you, figure you out, ask around, ask about you to people, and ask around, and all of that stuff is going to happen before they give an offer love, before they get admit to themselves that they are in love. They are like it's like they will try to figure you out. Like they will see, are you the person that they would want to settle down with? It's going to become logical. Sorry. It's like, this particular person would try to be like, they would see. Okay, just hold on. Okay, it is like this particular person would be like, okay, are they good enough for me? Like it is logical, quite logical. With the chariot and with the king of cups, a little logical. Like, is this the right person that I would like to associate myself with the three of pentacles? Because the three of pentacles usually talks about the right people, so they are going to get to know about you to figure out whether you are the right person that they want to get committed to. And then they're like, okay, they're going to admit it to themselves, like whether they are in love with you and all that stuff. The lovers card, and that is what is going to happen. I told you, like four of pentacles and with the king of cups. The king of cups, the emotions that they feel towards you will be like deep, but they wouldn't offer it to you, or they wouldn't express it to you, but then they would act possessive around you. You wouldn't see them like exclaiming that they are in love with you and all that stuff. It's going to be more on the logical side. Okay, they will understand you emotionally, but then it's always like, okay, a little logical, I can say. And with the to the sea and with the thinker, they're going to go with the flow, but then always act logically. When it comes to getting committed, when it comes to like settling down, they're like, do you have the qualities that I would require in my partner? It's all, I know love isn't logical, but even in spite of them falling in love, they're always going to think from their mind and not from their heart. So that's how you get to know that they're in love. When they start acting possessive around you, they start trying to control you a little. Okay, and when they're grooming themselves and looking good and nice and all that stuff, you get to know that they are in love. So that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you.